Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pause just for a moment and ask yourself one question. What does success really mean to me? It's not about luck. It's not about where you were born. It's not about who you know. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That's not just a sentence, it's a key. And today, I'm going to hand you 5 powerful keys that will unlock that door for the rest of your life. Let's begin. Definiteness of purpose. Let me tell you something most people never hear in their lifetime. The number one reason people stay average is because they never decide what they really want. They live by chance, not by choice. They wander, not because they're weak, but because they're undefined. The moment you become crystal clear about your purpose, what you truly want out of life, you separate yourself from 95% of the population. Because while most are floating like leaves in the wind, changing direction, with every breeze of opinion or emotion, the person with definiteness of purpose moves like a ship with its compass set. Storms may come, waves may hit, but they stay the course. You see, a lion doesn't chase every animal it sees. It stalks one, locks in, zeroes in, and it chases with full focus. That's purpose. Look around you. How many people do you know who wake up with an exact mission every single day? Not many. They wake up, scroll their phones, go with the flow, complain about circumstances, and drift into routines they never consciously chose. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They wonder why success feels like a dream reserved for the lucky few. But here's the truth. Success is never accidental. It's always intentional. You can't hit a target you can't see, and you won't move toward a goal you haven't even defined. Want to build a business? Define what kind. What does it look like in 1 year and 5? Want to be in the best shape of your life? Define it. What body weight? What routine? What food? Want to be happy? What does that mean to you? Peace of mind? Financial freedom? Creative freedom? Don't say you want more money. Even a single coin is more. Say, I want to earn $10,000 per month doing what I love. Don't say you want to be successful. Say, I want to become the most influential fitness coach in my city. Because clarity is power. Vague goals bring vague results. Sharp goals sharpen your actions. Think about the GPS on your phone. You can have the latest model, full battery, strong signal. But unless you type in the destination, it's just a screen. It doesn't matter how powerful the technology is. It can't help you if it doesn't know where you want to go. Your brain, your energy, your talents, they're the GPS. But you must feed them the address. Every major success story began with a clear, burning desire. Walt Disney saw Disneyland before it was ever built. Elon Musk imagined colonizing Mars before he even made PayPal. Steve Jobs envisioned computers in every home when others laughed. And here's the kicker, they weren't smarter than everyone else. They were just more focused. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they never let go. Definiteness of purpose gives you a filter. When you know your goal, every distraction becomes obvious. Every temptation, every excuse, every detour. It all stands out. You become ruthless with your time. You say no to 100 things so you can say why yes to your mission. People will call you obsessed. Good. That's how legends are made. Let them sleep while you grind. Let them doubt while you build. Let them scroll while you study. Let them talk while you walk. You're not here to be part of the crowd. You're here to become a force. And it all starts with one decision. What do you want? Not what your parents want. Not what society expects. Not what fear allows. What you want. When you answer that and lock onto it like your life depends on it, Then watch how the universe bends, how people notice, how opportunities knock, and how you transform. Because the moment your purpose becomes clear, your power becomes unstoppable. Tiplauer of dice Eiplein discipline is the invisible bridge between dreams and reality. It's the unseen force that transforms a simple desire into a lived destiny. Without discipline, ambition is just fantasy. People talk about motivation like it's everything, but motivation fades. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, though. Discipline is the engine that keeps moving when the fire goes cold, when no one's watching, when it's just you versus your excuses. It's easy to show up when you're inspired, but the ones who make it to the top are those who show up even when they're exhausted, discouraged, and alone. That's the real test. Think of the student who stays up until 3 a.m. preparing for an exam, not because they enjoy the pain, but because they've trained their mind to focus on results, not feelings. Think of the athlete who wakes up at 5 a.m. to train while the rest of the world is still dreaming. That's not luck. That's not a gift. That's discipline. It's built, forged, hammered into the mind day after day. And it hurts. It's uncomfortable. But it's the only path to mastery. Most people want the reward, but they don't want the routine. They want success, but they don't want sacrifice. They want freedom, but they don't want the fire. They want to stand out, but live like everyone else. That's the trap. Discipline is what separates those who only want from those who do. Everyone wants to write a book, but who's disciplined enough to sit down and write 500 words a day, even when the inspiration dies? Everyone wants the perfect body, but who's disciplined enough to train when sore, eat clean when tempted, sleep early when the party's still going? Your future is hidden in your daily habits. Your destiny is shaped in the silence. When nobody claps for you, when nobody believes in you yet, when quitting whispers in your ear. And that's when discipline steps in like a soldier. It says, not today. We're still going. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It only cares if you finish. It doesn't wait for the right mood. It creates the right momentum. It doesn't ask for comfort. It demands character. Ask any successful person, any self-made giant, and they'll tell you. Discipline is boring. It's repetitive. It's lonely. But it's also the reason they made it. It's the quiet killer of procrastination, the destroyer of delay, the architect of all greatness. It's brushing your teeth every morning. It's managing your money when no one's looking. It's reading instead of scrolling. It's practicing when you've already failed 10 times. It's the waiter who works doubles to fund his startup. It's the mother who studies after putting her kids to sleep. It's the young man who works out in the dark because he refuses to be average. Discipline is the inner voice that says, do it anyway. Tired, do it anyway. Don't feel like it, do it anyway. Afraid, do it anyway. And each time you obey that voice, your mind becomes sharper, your will becomes stronger, your identity starts to evolve. You're no longer just someone who wishes. You become someone who executes. That's when everything begins to shift. People will ask how you did it. They'll say you got lucky. They won't see the early mornings, the silent nights, the countless sacrifices you made while they took breaks. They won't understand, but you will. Because you'll know the truth. Discipline was the difference. Wir all Enschapis. This time your environment is not just where you live, it's what you breathe. It's the air of your daily thoughts. The voices you hear, the energies you absorb, the standards you're exposed to. People underestimate this more than anything else. They think they can stay around negativity and still stay positive. They think they can grow around laziness and somehow become great. But here's the brutal truth. You can have all the talent, all the ambition, all the goals, but if your environment is toxic, you will suffocate. You will slowly lose your spark, your discipline, your fire, without even realizing it. Imagine trying to light a match in a rainstorm. It doesn't matter how strong your hand is. If the atmosphere isn't right, the fire won't catch. That's how it works with your life. If you are surrounded by people who constantly doubt themselves, complain about everything, make excuses instead of progress, guess what? That energy will seep into your skin. You'll begin to think like them, act like them, settle like them. You become the conversations you hear most often. You reflect the habits of the people closest to you. But here's the powerful part. You can change it. You can choose who gets access to your energy. You can design your surroundings with intention. You can place yourself in an environment that fuels your greatness instead of draining it. People think it's about cutting others off. No, it's about choosing yourself. It's about saying, if I want to grow, I must plant myself in better soil. Look at successful people. They protect their environment like a treasure. They don't allow gossip in. They don't allow low energy, low ambition talk to take root. They consume information that uplifts. They seek conversations that challenge them. They keep mentors near, distractions far. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. You don't throw seeds on concrete and expect a tree. You plant it in rich soil, water it, protect it from weeds. Your life is the same. Think of a student who wants to be the best in class, but studies in a room where the TV is always loud, the phone always buzzing, people always interrupting. Compare that to another student who studies in a quiet room, phone off, surrounded by friends who push each other to win. Who has the advantage? Not the smarter one, the more strategic one, the one who built an environment of elevation. It's the gym goer who finds a training partner that refuses to let him quit. It's the artist who surrounds herself with creatives that demand more from her. It's the entrepreneur who spends time with winners, not whiners. Your environment will either awaken your best or bury it. And you have to choose every single day where you will place yourself. Sometimes that means walking alone for a while. Sometimes it means being misunderstood. Sometimes it means changing your location, your schedule, your habits, even your friendships. But ask yourself, what's more important, comfort or growth? Fitting in or standing out? Feeling safe or becoming unstoppable? The greatest shift happens when you realize that your environment is not a prison. It's a decision. You get to pick what you see, what you hear, what you engage with. You get to pick who pours into you and who poisons you. You get to create a space that reflects your future, not your past. Every time you open your eyes, you're stepping into the climate that's shaping your thoughts. And your thoughts are shaping your results. If the weather around you is stormy, you must either carry your own sun or move to where the skies are clear. Tion beats parfait time, action beats perfection. That single truth, if fully understood and applied, can change your entire life. Yet most people are paralyzed by the illusion that everything has to be perfect before they begin. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect plan, the perfect resources, the perfect alignment of stars. And while they wait, life moves on. Opportunities pass. Doors close. Dreams wither. Why? Because they chose perfection over momentum. But those who win, they don't wait, they act. They launch. They learn by doing, not by overthinking. Think about the child learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they trip over their own feet 100 times. But not once do they stop and say, "I'm not ready yet. Maybe I should wait until I master it in my head." No, they keep going. Every step, no matter how awkward, is progress. Every fall is data. And before you know it, they're running. That's the natural order of growth. You move, you fail, you learn, you adjust, and you rise. But as we grow older, the fear of judgment creeps in. The need for approval takes over. We hesitate, we polish, we delay, and in doing so, we rob ourselves of growth. A person spends months planning a YouTube channel, agonizing over the logo, the banner, the perfect intro video, while someone else, with nothing but a phone and a message, uploads raw content every week. A year later, the perfectionist is still preparing. The action taker has 100 videos, an audience, and momentum. Done is better than perfect. Execution will always outperform intention. That blog you haven't started because you're waiting to write the perfect first post. Someone else is already on post number 50. That gym routine you're delaying until you find the perfect coach, the perfect supplement, the perfect outfit. Someone else is sweating in a garage with nothing but determination. And they're getting stronger every day. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need movement. One imperfect action is worth more than 1,000 flawless ideas sitting in your head. You can fix the plan as you go. You can pivot, you can improve. But you can't edit a blank page. You can't learn from what you never start. Life rewards those in motion. Take the story of a young artist who spent years perfecting his portfolio, tweaking every line, every shade, every stroke. He never shared it, afraid it wasn't good enough. Meanwhile, another artist posts daily sketches online, some messy, some rushed. At first, no one noticed, but over time, people saw the growth. They connected to the journey. He built an audience. He got feedback. He got better. Now he's living the dream the perfectionist only fantasized about. You want clarity. Take action. You want confidence. Take action. You want progress. Take action. Because action is the furnace where all greatness is forged. Perfection is the shadow that blocks your fire. And here's the thing. The perfect moment you're waiting for. It doesn't exist. The stars won't align. Fear won't disappear. Conditions won't be ideal. But none of that matters when you decide to move. Start with what you have. Use what you know. Begin where you are. The road will reveal itself as you walk it. You don't need to see the entire staircase. Just take the first step. Let the world see your rough edges. Let them witness your evolution. Because progress is loud. Perfection is silent. And while others are stuck in thought, you'll be making history in motion. The quo de nor, OF pars STNC. The compound power of persistence is the most underrated force in human success. It's not flashy. It doesn't scream. It doesn't post highlights on social media. But it's the quiet storm behind every world champion, every empire built from nothing, every ordinary person who turned into a legend. Persistence is the ability to keep showing up. Not just once, not just for a week, but again and again and again, until the world has no choice but to take notice. While others burn out, while others get bored, while others chase the next shiny shortcut, the persistent one digs deeper, and eventually they strike gold. You've heard the story. Two men start digging for diamonds. One gives up after a few weeks. It's not working, he says. The other keeps going day after day, swinging that pickaxe. One morning, he's just 3 inches deeper than the quitter, and he hits the diamond mine. Now the world calls him lucky, but it wasn't luck. It was persistence. He simply stayed long enough to win. This is how life works. Success is not found in the intensity of one big effort. It's built in the repetition of small actions done consistently over time. It's the writer who writes 500 words every day for years before a bestseller happens. It's the athlete who trains in silence while no one claps. It's the entrepreneur who launches failed business after failed business, learning, tweaking, improving, until one finally explodes. People see the result, but they never see the process. The nights of self-doubt. The mornings where getting up feels like lifting a mountain. The moments when giving up whispers sweet lies into your ear. But the persistent don't listen. They move forward anyway. There's a young boy who dreams of becoming a doctor, but every exam knocks him down. He fails once, twice, 3 times. Everyone around him tells him to find something else. Maybe it's not for you, they say, but he keeps studying. He keeps trying. He keeps rising from every fall. And one day, he wears the white coat. His name has Dakier before it now, not because he was the smartest, but because he was the last man standing. That's the power of persistence. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles, delays, distractions, and disappointments. And it won't always be fair. But the only way to truly lose is to stop trying. Because every time you persist, you grow. You build resilience. You build grit. You toughen your spirit. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every no gets you closer to the ultimate, yes. The mountain doesn't move for those who tap it once. It crumbles for those who pound on it every day with belief in their blood and fire in their soul. Think of water dripping on a stone. One drop is nothing, but drip after drip, day after day, it carves through rock. Not because of force, but because of consistency. That's persistence. It doesn't care how slow progress seems. It only cares that progress is being made. One small win stacked on top of the next becomes unstoppable momentum. One more step, one more try, one more day. That's how victories are born. The truth is, talent without persistence is wasted potential. Intelligence without persistence is just trivia. Passion without persistence is temporary hype. But persistence, it's the multiplier. It's what turns effort into achievement. It's what transforms impossible into inevitable. It doesn't promise speed, but it guarantees impact. Those who embrace the grind, who find strength in the repetition, who chase greatness with unshakable faith, they are the ones who leave a mark that time cannot erase. Now pause for a second. Let everything you've heard settle into your soul. Not just into your ears, into your core. Into the part of you that's been waiting, aching, craving for a breakthrough. Because this isn't just another speech. This is a mirror, a wake-up call. A reminder that everything you've been searching for is already inside you. The secrets have never been locked away in some ancient book or guarded by the elite. They've been hiding in plain sight. Purpose, discipline, environment, action, persistence. These aren't suggestions. These are the foundational laws of success. And now you know them. Now they belong to you. So what will you do with them? This world isn't waiting for perfect people. It's waiting for decided people. People who are sick of sitting in silence while their dreams rust inside them. People who are done living as a watered, down version of themselves. People who refuse to let another year pass in regret, another goal die in fear, another talent suffocate in doubt. You see, life doesn't reward the loudest. It rewards the most consistent. It rewards the ones who dare to move forward when everything around them screams to sit still. It rewards the ones who plant their vision in the ground, water it daily, protect it from storms, and believe in its bloom long before the world sees a single leaf. You don't need another motivational quote to remind you who you are. You need to rise. You need to move. You need to do what 99% won't. Start. Remember what Les Brown said. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great to us. Eric Thomas once screamed it from his gut faff. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Tony Robbins reminds us that. It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And Steve Jobs, he said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do die. Say, what more permission do you need? Maybe you've been doubted. Good. Let that become your fuel. Maybe you've been overlooked. Perfect. Now rise so high they can't ignore you. Maybe you've failed before. Even better. Because the greatest champions are built from broken moments. From the ashes. From the silence between claps. You don't owe the world your excuses. You owe it your excellence. There's a fire in you that's been dimmed but never dead. A roar that's been silenced but never gone. It's time to unleash it. To show up in your life with unapologetic focus. To walk into every room like you belong, because you do. To wake up every morning and chase your goal like it's oxygen, because it is. Let people laugh. Let them doubt. Let them sleep. While they scroll, you build. While they talk, you execute. While they dream, you dominate. Success is not reserved for the chosen ones. It's reserved for the committed ones. And from this day forward, you are not a prisoner of your past. You are not defined by failure. You are not held back by your current circumstances. You are an architect, a force, a warrior in motion. You are the person who wakes up and says, this is my time, my fight, my legacy, and no delay, no fear, no failure, no distraction is big enough to stop what's burning in your chest. You are not next. You are now. So go make the world remember your name.